Some careers are built in silence, slowly shaped like stone under pressure. Some explode into existence like fireworks. And then, there are careers like Rayan Cherki's, where destiny doesn't arrive suddenly, it lives inside the player long before the world is prepared to see it. He was not created by hype. He was carved by environment, sharpened by ambition, and polished by self-belief. Born in Lyon, raised in a family woven with French, Algerian, and Italian rhythm, Cherki did not inherit a dream. He earned it. As a boy, he didn't chase the ball. He danced with it. Streets, academies, concrete, grass. Anywhere there was space to breathe and space to move, Cherki turned it into a stage. It was not play. It was instinct. Football didn't choose him. It called him. From the day he stepped into Olympique Lyon's academy, something felt different. Coaches saw boldness in his touch, confidence in his timing, and creativity in his decisions. He wasn't trying to impress. He was simply expressing. And expression is what separates players from artists. At 16, most kids are thinking about exams and futures they haven't touched yet. Rayan Cherki. He was already rewriting expectations, making his senior debut, scoring goals that didn't look like goals from a boy, but statements from someone already speaking the language of football fluency. A teenager stepping into professional arenas like he was simply continuing a conversation he'd been having his whole life. The one you heard whispers about, the one teammates trusted, the one defenders underestimated once, never twice. But the journey from promise to power isn't paved in applause. It's paved in discipline. And Cherki learned early that talent opens doors, but work keeps them open. So he trained. Quiet mornings, repetition, finishing patterns, body balance, scanning drills, mental sharpening. Talent might sparkle, but endurance. Endurance shines forever. And he was preparing himself to endure. France saw his rise, Europe felt it, but the world, it only understood pieces, little highlights, flashes of footwork, glimpses of vision. What they didn't see was the foundation beneath the flare, the hours, the sacrifice, the humility stitched into ambition. Because Cherki was never chasing attention, he was chasing excellence, and with excellence comes lifestyle. Not the loud lifestyle of players who mistake wealth for identity, but the intentional lifestyle of someone who views success like art. A man who steps into luxury the way he steps onto the pitch, with respect, with precision, with purpose. There are evenings when Rayan leaves training at dusk, soft sky over Paris or Manchester now, engine quietly humming under him as he sinks into the interior of a sleek European coupe. Leather-hugging seats like confidence hugs him. Spotify low, city lights flickering like applause outside tinted windows. He doesn't rush, he doesn't brag. He cruises, calm, controlled, a young king in transit. Some athletes buy cars to be seen. Cherki drives like someone who understands that greatness must feel comfortable before it feels loud. And yes, the car choices reveal the mindset. Class over chaos, taste over noise, sleek Mercedes, refined Porsche coupe, low-key Range Rover on off days. Not excess, identity. Because when you know your path, you don't need to scream it, you live it. Home for him isn't where trophies will rest. It's where clarity breathes. A modern apartment once in Lyon, now evolving into something bigger. Elegant tones, soft lights, earthy textures, curated simplicity. Space to recharge, space to think. Space where peace isn't a luxury, it's fuel. Evenings aren't chaos, they are calm. Dinner with family, film review, tactical reflection, sometimes a quiet rooftop lounge moment, city skyline beneath him, wind brushing skin, chest rising slow, a young man aware of where he stands and where he refuses to stop. He knows this life isn't normal. He also knows it isn't guaranteed, and that's why he respects it. Football may give you status, but discipline protects it. Cherki carries both, and with every new sunrise, the grind begins again. He wakes not as someone who has arrived, but someone who is arriving, daily, relentlessly, stretching, fueling, sharpening, feet on the floor before excuses can wake up. Mind focused before doubt can open its mouth. Because success isn't loud in the morning, it's silent, like him, like every future icon who understands that greatness is earned in moments nobody sees. And Rayan Cherki, he is earning everything, step by step, breath by breath, touch by touch. A young man who knows he's not chasing fame, he's building legacy. And legacy doesn't whisper, it waits. To become great, a player must learn to live between worlds, the world of who he was and the world of who he is becoming. Rayan Cherki walks this line daily, not as someone overwhelmed by expectation, but as someone built for it. There is a certain calm that surrounds those who know where they're going, a quiet certainty, a presence, not a performance. Cherki doesn't walk into training grounds like a kid with something to prove. He walks in like a man who understands his value, yet refuses to stop earning it. In a football era flooded with noise, where every action is broadcast and every hesitation becomes a headline, he chooses intention over impulse. While some fall in love with attention, he remains in love with the ball. A simple object, yet a universe to him, where geometry, rhythm, and instinct meet. Watch him in training, and you don't see tricks, you see thought. A player who scans before the pass, senses pressure before it arrives, manipulates space like a chess master disguised as an artist. This is not improvisation. This is vision shaped by hours the world will never applaud. And when training ends, his day doesn't. Recovery begins. Cold tubs, deloading sessions, massage rooms infused with eucalyptus and quiet music, where discipline whispers louder than ego. Luxury is not there to impress, it's there to prepare. That is the distinction. Some players chase luxury to feel important. Rayan builds a lifestyle that supports his ambition. His wardrobe reflects it too. Tailored streetwear, structured silhouettes, monochrome palettes, Parisian elegance with modern edge, jackets draped like power, fabrics chosen like decisions, measured, clean, strategic. Elegance doesn't scream, it occupies space. And yet, beneath all this refinement, there is still the boy from Lyon, grounded, grateful, shaped by family. The laughter around a dinner table, the voices that raised him, the warmth of heritage and home. He returns to those roots not because he needs comfort, but because he respects origin. A tree only stands tall if its roots remain deep. There are moments, rare ones, where he lets himself feel the world moving with him. Nights when city lights are soft, when he stands on a balcony overlooking a skyline, breathing a future that already feels familiar. Champions don't force momentum. They grow into it. And yet ambition carries weight. He is aware of it. The hype, the expectations, the whispers in stadium corridors, the murmurs in fan forums, the journalists searching for angles. Pressure is inevitable, and he lifts it like someone who has trained for it all his life. He knows the truth. Talent gets attention, temperament keeps it, and temperament is where he thrives. He studies football like great minds study philosophy, late nights reviewing matches, not highlight shows, but angles, details, patterns, tablet glowing, stylus tapping, foot bouncing, brain sharpening, not chasing validation, chasing edges. Every year the game evolves. Every year he evolves faster. This is not a wild rise, it is a crafted ascent. And the world beyond sport? He steps into it with subtle power. Dinner at private lounges, soft golden lighting reflecting on polished tables. Conversation not about fame, but about future. Brand partnerships, long-term property investments, emerging technology in athlete performance, youth academy development. Rayan isn't playing for today. He is engineering tomorrow. Still, there are moments when he escapes the weight. Summer days on the Mediterranean, sun over blue waters, minimalist villas tucked into cliffs, where silence heals and waves bring peace. Not party yachts, private beaches, private thoughts, private plans. Some players run from the world in off-season. He resets to take control of it. Because to become world-class, you don't rest. You recalibrate. The cars, the travel, the fashion, yes, they are there. But they are not masks. They are mirrors reflecting intent. Tools for a life designed, not drifted. A life balanced between humility and hunger. And with each passing month, his aura shifts. Not louder, but heavier. Coaches trust him more. Teammates follow his tempo. Fans begin to speak in certainty, not curiosity. They see it now, the maturity sharpening, the body strengthening, the playmaking sculpting into something rare. Not potential anymore, proof. This is the phase where futures decide themselves, where boys either break under expectation or step through it untouchable. Rayan Cherki is stepping through, and every step leaves an imprint. Not shallow, deep, not fleeting, lasting. He is no longer the prodigy trying to belong. He is the presence forcing the world to adjust to him. And yet, he is patient. Not because he doubts, because he knows. Time is not an obstacle for those who are inevitable. The applause hasn't peaked. The spotlight hasn't arrived in full force. The chapter isn't climax, it's ignition. And he doesn't fear what's coming. He expects it. Greatness does not rush those who are already walking toward it. And Rayan Cherki is not running anymore. He is marching. Soon the world will look back and realize they witnessed transformation. A rising talent becoming a rising force. A rising force becoming a rising star. A rising star becoming a symbol. The boy with brilliance is becoming the man with dominance, and the world is catching up to what he already knew. This isn't luck. This isn't hype. This is becoming. Greatness has a rhythm. It doesn't rush. It doesn't panic. It breathes, expands, waits, and then one day, it arrives like a storm dressed in certainty. Rayan Cherki feels that rhythm now more than ever. He wakes into it. He walks with it. He trains inside it like a man sculpting destiny with every touch. There are days when the world still sees him as the promising young French talent. But promise is just the seed. He is becoming the tree. Roots deep, branches rising, presence undeniable. He knows it. His coaches see it. Opponents feel it. When he turns with the ball and time bends around him, when defenders hesitate because magic and logic coexist in his feet, when crowds inhale before he touches the ball because anticipation is the mark of real talent. He isn't trying to prove the world wrong. He is trying to prove himself right. And that difference, that subtle, powerful difference, is what separates boys with hype from men with legacy. If you follow him through a day now, you don't witness chaos or noise, you witness intention. From the moment morning light falls across marble countertops in his quiet residence, modern sharp lines, warm tones, panoramic windows holding city views like living art, he begins the ritual. Hydration, stretching, balance work, breath control, nutrition measured not by flavor alone, but by performance and purpose. He didn't buy a lifestyle, he built a system where excellence is routine, where rest is sacred, where noise never outruns discipline. The world sees expensive sneakers and designer jackets, but what they don't see is the notebooks with tactical diagrams, the film study sessions with dimmed lights, the recovery boots, the meditation tracks, the screensaver that reads, "Earn every breath." That isn't motivation, that's identity. And yes, the luxury is there, not the screaming type, the intelligent kind. Neutral tones, clean stone textures, calm private balconies, soft earth linens, fitness equipment tucked in corners like silent allies. A personal chef some days, homemade family dishes on others, because humility doesn't disappear when success arrives. It grows deeper roots. Sometimes, late at night, he stands by floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Cars moving like veins of light, People living fast lives below, unaware that above them stands a young man preparing to carry expectations heavier than most could breathe under. He watches not to admire, but to understand. He reminds himself, fame is borrowed, character is owned. The cars? Yes, they tell a story too, but not one of ego. One of maturity. Sleek sedans for calm arrivals, sport coupes for escape drives when the mind needs breathing space. Electric options creeping into his garage now, not as trend, but as vision. Because the future rewards those who think beyond themselves. Where some athletes flaunt, Cherki invests. Brand partnerships aligned with values. Mentorship programs forming behind the scenes. Financial planning guided by longevity, not impulse. Football careers are short, but impact can last forever. He knows it. And now, as he steps into match days, you can feel the shift. This is no longer a boy entering stadiums hoping to impress. This is a man commanding the room before he speaks. Fans chant his name with curiosity turning into belief. Journalists sharpen pens not for hype, but for documentation. Analysts circle clips with excitement because innovation is re-entering French football through his touch. And when the whistle blows and the lights rise and breath fogs in the night air, Cherki steps forward with shoulders relaxed and eyes sharp, calm like oceans, hungry like wolves, purpose written in silence. This game, this life, it is no longer about reaching the level. It is about setting it. There will be challenges. There will be critics. There will be moments where the journey feels heavier than the reward. Every great story has chapters dipped in doubt. But Rayan Cherki is ready. For noise, for expectation, for legacy's weight. He isn't walking into the future hoping it accepts him. He is walking into the future knowing he belongs to it. And years from now, when fans speak of this era, they won't talk only about the stars who were already proven. They will talk about the moment football shifted, when creativity returned with intelligence, when elegance returned with discipline, when a young Frenchman rose not by explosion, but by design. They will say, we watched him grow, we watched him learn, we watched him arrive. And in those stadiums, under those lights, somewhere a boy will watch him move and whisper to himself, if he can do it, maybe I can too. That is legacy. Not trophies alone, inspiration, not wealth alone, impact, not fame alone, meaning. Rayan Cherki is not finished. He is just beginning. And the world is waking up to a truth he has known silently for years. Some players are made by the game. Others are made for it. The future doesn't wait for everyone, but it waits for him. Because he is not chasing history. He is preparing to become part of it. Not by accident, by intention, by discipline, by design. And when the final chapters of this generation's football story are written, one thing will be certain. Rayan Cherki didn't just arrive. He ascended. And the world didn't give him greatness. He built it. Step by step, breath by breath, moment by moment. Quiet then, loud forever.